If only the Pikes had a door to drop.
I don't get it.
To drop on the Rancor to kill it.
Oh,
Gosh.
I was like, what? That okay. My bad. I should have got that one. That's my fault. My bad.
We had a whole segment in one episode where we were talking about that. What episode was that? I can't remember.
My bad. First, yeah, Daddy Phelps in the holes. Let's do it. Hello. What's up?
Hey everyone, welcome back to another amazing episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with the book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 7, In the Name of Honor.
Da, da, da.
Yep.
Oh man, was this a weird finale?
It was a long episode.
Okay, the longest Star Wars TV show episode that we've seen, besides Clone Wars, and I was gonna probably.
It was Bad Batch with
Bad Batch
75
had the-
minutes.
yeah,
but
Bad Batch
of
had
live
long-
action, this is
But
long.
for live action, this was the juiciest
Right.
one.
So
People are already throwing ratings in the chat right now. You gotta. I'm not gonna read them off, but people are already throwing out their ratings. Yeah. Should we just dive in?
Well,
Actually,
we should get some news stuff out of the way.
yeah, well, there's actually quite a bit of some news this week.
One, we got today a release date for Obi-Wan Kenobi series, May 25th. So mark your calendars.
Was that sooner than you expected, or?
Well, the rumor was May 4th. And so,
Yes.
Because May 4th, obviously, May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day.
Well,
and it was on a Wednesday, too. So I thought that was what they were going to do. But
they could have just pushed it up a couple weeks. But
yeah, they already got the first episode done. Just do it on the thing. But, so there's that. So we assume we're going to get some sort of teaser or trailer or something soon. Maybe Super Bowl. There will be a little this weekend, Super Bowl TV spot, 30-second.
We are getting Jeremiah's favorite show. We're getting a trailer for that. We already know that. Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I don't care about that.
I know. That's why I mentioned it.
I don't care. But also, just like an hour or two ago, just a trailer for The Force Unleashed for Switch. So Andrew's probably, when he sees that, he's going to be excited for that because he probably wants to play that. So Andrew, this is for you. Be excited, Andrew.
He actually is pretty pumped for this now. But that's interesting.
So there's that. Is there any other news?
There's a lot of cool toy drops, but I don't think you really care about that. But Hasbro Pulse, go check them out. They dropped a lot of.
I saw some of those, yeah.
Like a lot. Like the last 2 days has been kind of crazy. You can buy the full throne room of Jabba's palace with Bib Fortuna in it, the fat one.
Can you get that?
Dope. I want to. I got to remind myself to pre-order it tomorrow at 11, which I probably won't get it in time. But it looks dope. Just go check it out if you guys are interested in collecting. But yeah. Besides all that, though, we did Monday. Monday was a big day for podcasting and Star Wars.
Yeah. So Star Wars Podcast Day.
Yes, it was on Monday. Obviously, this episode came out on, Wednesday, Thursday when you hear this. But we're celebrating Star Wars Podcast today, so we are happy to be a part of this Star Wars podcast community. With that, go check out Star Wars Pod Day on Instagram.
Yep.
Go check them out. They have a lot of cool other media, Star Wars media over there. And I was going through the list a little bit. They have some that was called podcast Beskar. Like they have like a lot of different Star Wars names, and like I honestly I don't listen to that many other Star Wars podcasts besides like I think I don't want to plug any like big ones out there, but there's a handful of ones I listen to. But these are smaller ones that I think you should go support this up and coming Star Wars community. There's a lot of cool ones out there, and I know that there's people that go into that and they found us through it. So we also
Yeah.
want to support them because they helped us out. So go check them out. I think they're also you can find it on Star Wars Podcast on Facebook too.
Yes.
They post pretty much every time we post that we are going live and stuff. They repost that for us, so it's pretty cool. And it's a really cool little community. And if you want more Star Wars content, it's out there. And we're kind of pointing you to the direction to go start. So go over there, go check it out, celebrate with us, and yeah, we love to see it. And we appreciate you guys for reaching out to us and wanting us to be a part of your day. And we love it. So yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, we should probably jump into this episode of this finale episode of the Book of Boba Fett. So, Drew, what were your overall thoughts of this finale? Uh-oh, silence.
I'm trying to
Are
think.
you speechless or
I'm speechless.
or are you disappointed?
No, I thought okay, one like last week, for instance, my phone was blowing up like the whole time from people and stuff like that, and everyone like Andrew blew up my phone nonstop, and he blew up yours too. We talked about last week, and this week I went on and like it was like half the people were in the watch party. I'm like, okay, this is not a good sign because last week there was like everyone and their grandma was watching my reaction because they wanted to see my reaction, and then this week was like a little less people, and so I was like, I didn't have like the highest of hopes, but I thought it was good. Like I liked it. I like if we got this episode like let's say if for some reason we didn't get episode 5 and 6 and we got this one would have been amazing. But I think last week was so good that it kind of like foreshadows the finale, which is kind of weird. Overall, I hate that Boba doesn't wear his helmet. It drives me freaking nuts. And and there especially at the end, like when he was walking through town, like put your helmet on, dude. Like it's just it doesn't make any sense to me at all. So that was kind of annoying. The scooter bike people, I don't know. Like it's whatever. It it's kind of weird. Like overall for the whole series, it feels like they started going one direction and then they realized that they know how to write the Mandalorian show better than a different show. So they like kind of just like let's just keep writing Mando. Like literally at the end of this whole show, I think you're watching the Mandalorian show because even at the end, it's like the Mandalorian theme song. Like it's not. I don't know. It felt kind of. I don't know if Jeremiah you felt like that. It just like it felt like he overshadowed this entire whole end of the show.
Yeah.
There's parts of it like we'll get in the breakdown, but I hated the Grogu part. I thought it was really dumb. I really hated that because it didn't make like I knew that was gonna be the outcome, but I don't understand why Luke didn't drop him off. I think is kind
He's
of dumb.
doing Jedi stuff. He hasn't got time to go to some
Well,
backwater
who is he
planet that he
teaching
doesn't
a
care about.
frog? Is he gonna teach the frogs? Like, what do you mean he has no time?
No.
And it's his planet. He's from there.
He
Like,
can't have attachments, remember?
yeah, tell that to Vader before he died. But anyways, I don't know. Overall, I thought it was all right. It wasn't like my favorite episode, but it wasn't my least favorite episode. I think for the Boba Fett show, I thought it was the best one of that besides episode 2. Like it goes like for the Boba Fett show without Mando being like the main character,
Yeah.
it would be like 2 and then this one. I like this. I
Yeah.
like the fighting. I love the fighting scene. I thought it was dope. Like that whole battle, I kind of wish it was a little longer. I wish they didn't kill off someone that we'll talk about in a little bit. But like overall, like the Rancor thing, it was fun. It was really dope. It was pretty much just King Kong in there, but whatever. Like I don't know, it was fun. It was a fun-filled episode. We'll break it down more, but that was my overall thoughts. It was fun.
All right.
Here it
So,
comes. You hate it.
no, I don't hate it. I think I feel the same way that you do. Like,
Did you like it better than episode 1, at least?
I can't remember
You
episode.
hated that one.
I can't remember. That's the thing. Like, I look back at the show. I can remember episode 2, and then 5, 6, and this one. But like 1, 2, and 3, like I don't even remember. Like,
you don't remember like is it 4 when he got the Rancor, or is that 3? Whatever episode that was like fine. That was cool.
That might be, I don't know. I think I just can't remember. Like, that's the problem. Like,
Well, that's because 5 and 6 took over the whole show.
Well, that doesn't matter. Like, I should still be able to remember what other episodes were. And
no,
so
you're
it's
right.
Like,
that's fair.
So it's hard to say. So like, I think, like you said, like you enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
like,
fun.
There's a lot of great scenes, a lot of fights. But like, my biggest disappointment with this episode is that I was so sure that they were going to point to the future of this Mandoverse or Filoniverse. I thought they were gonna do a name drop. They were gonna hint at something. I thought there was gonna be a much better mid/post credit scene than we got.
So dumb. It was. I don't.
And like, I can't wait to. I really thought that they were gonna do a Thrawn name drop, or
that would have been cool.
Name something that's going to be the bigger conflict that all these shows are supposedly supposed to
like if they
climax at.
Like the biggest thing was people were saying that the Pikes were actually working for a different crime syndicate, and like if they added something like that, if that was the way they're going,
like they could even like named like Crimson Dawn. They could
if they just said it, or like showed a side of her face or something.
Like Kira, like yeah, like so like the episode itself was fine, like whatever. It's a climax episode, a lot of fighting, a lot of action. It was fun, but I thought it was going to point to the future, and it didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. And I was really disappointed. The post credit scene, I thought was the most waste of time I've ever seen. I was hoping that Cad Bane was in there.
Well, he's not gonna kill the guy and then put him back in there to save his life.
Maybe get him to work for him. I don't know.
But like,
there was like two things that bothered me. I'll just remember.
And then I agree with you also that like the whole like Grogu thing was kind of lame. Like the thing is, if Grogu didn't show up, they would have all died. It's like
true.
It's like he saved the day and saved everyone.
Because it's Mando season 3.
And it should have been Boba was the one who saved the day. And like he did with the Rancor, he took like he fought the second one by himself. But like the first one, like
should have done the first one like that too, though. That's why.
But if Grogu didn't save the day from the first one, like what happened? Like I just didn't get it. So it's like I don't know. The whole Mando Grogu thing, as much as I love like what they've shown so far, it also doesn't make sense. It takes away from Boba, like we've said in previous episodes. Like,
like I like that we got Mando in the show, but I also don't like the fact that it literally like foreshadowed the show, in the sense of like it foreshadowed Boba Fett as a character completely. Like this was Boba Fett's show, and it's just like a side arc. Like I know Jeremiah, you might hate this. I wish Andrew was here for this. What I'm about to say, but this is literally a side arc of an anime show. This is the Mandalorian anime show, and this is a side arc when we learned about this one character for a little bit. That's all this was. It's like arc. It's just everyone in the chat saying it's episode or season 2 of Mando 2.5. And it's like, yeah, that's what this is. Like, this isn't like even the way they ended it was so kind of just the in the sense of like they were talking like Boba's like, oh, I don't think I can handle this. I don't think we can do this. And then she's like, oh, who else will? And then it pans up to the sky to Mando with his music. Like, what? Like, what? This is
Well,
Boba's
and like
show, not Mando.
the thing is with the whole Grogu thing, like there are gonna be people who watch Mandalorian season 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna watch Boba Fett, and they're gonna jump into season 3, and
Yeah,
they're gonna be okay. Let's learn about what happened. Like what's gonna happen, and it shows up. He's in a new ship, and he has Grogu, and they're like, what?
they're gonna have to do like we know episode 1 of season 3, like 10 minutes of it is a recap of Boba.
Right,
Like that's
and
what's
it's
gonna
just
be.
like you can't make that big of a story point not in its own show. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like
it makes
it,
no sense to do that. Like
like
sure, if you
as
want
much
to do,
as.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was no. Go ahead. You're in it.
Well, I forgot what I was gonna say once you said we're
Oh,
talking.
my bad. My bad. I've been interrupting you. I like the thing is, as much as we loved last week's episode and the week before, we loved those episodes. But the way they ended this show, it made me not like those episodes as much in the sense of it kind of ruined the show.
Right.
And like, not that those episodes did, it just felt like they don't belong in this show, essentially. Like,
Right.
like you said, I think before, like you're like, we're not gonna get him going to Luke and Grogu. We're not gonna get that. We're gonna get him coming back later and without the thing. And then Mando's gonna be talking to Boba, and then we're gonna figure out this stuff, and it's gonna be a longer scenes and stuff like that. And it's one. It seemed like they didn't. Uh, they had way more pikes come off that plane, like those ships, than actually how many they killed. First of all, like I felt like they're very like they should have had way more battle with the pikes. I felt like it was just like here's 10, here's 10 more. Like you know what I mean? Like it didn't seem like an army. I don't know.
Well, it is a crime syndicate, so they don't have an army. So it's just
But
kind
it
of their.
felt like they did when they came off. Like it
They had to get the
looked.
guys from sanitation to come by
Yeah,
and
that's true. I don't know.
all that jazz.
It just felt like the battle could have been like a 2-part episode kind of thing, and it was a one episode, and like the battle part was fun. Like don't get me wrong, I love the fight scene, especially with Mando and Boba flying together. I thought that was so dope. And then even the Cad Bane stuff is people in the chat right now are like it was the worst death. I don't think so. I was fine with it. I thought it was dope. I'm just more mad at the way Boba was after that. Because that's the Boba that I want. I want Boba to have his helmet on, being ruthless and stuff like that. And then right after that, he's bowing to people in the street without his helmet on. Like, dumb. It just doesn't really fit for me. And maybe all these years of my entire life up until now, I built Boba up in a different
Yep.
way. And maybe I should just take all my Boba Fett stuff and throw it on the ground. But I won't.
Or you could just sell it and then buy the new toys that were announced.
Buy all the Mando toys because that's the character I
Well,
really care.
The thing about people's disappointment with Boba is like they don't understand that him living in the desert with the Tuskens changed him. Like
Get that,
but that's why he doesn't wear his helmet. That's why he doesn't do all this stuff is because he's not who he was during the original trilogy or before. He's a changed person.
I know. I keep
so
trying to remind myself that. I get that. But then it felt like at this scene, it kind of broke him again.
Well, no, he didn't break again. He was just the same guy. He just doesn't wear his helmet. He's essentially the new mayor of this town.
Yeah.
Which
also that should have been Boba.
What?
That whole end scene. Like, why wasn't that Boba Fett who did that? I know that she left, and that's what she was gonna go do.
Because
she knew the location.
Because he wanted to stay with his people. He didn't want to leave his people to pursue his own selfish thing.
I know. I just think if it would have been Boba, it would have been so much more cool, right? Because she did everything that I wanted Boba to do.
I don't know it.
And another thing, we've been saying this throughout this whole thing. I'm really kind of disappointed because I really wanted her to be bad, like Jeremiah was saying. Like you built
Oh
that up for
yeah,
me so much,
yeah.
and for
Like
her to
no,
be a
Sydney from Cinemakery built it up in
uh
me. So I
well, and you built it up
Sydney,
in me
you ruined it for us. We had our hopes that Fennec was going to be a bad person, but I guess
she's
she's
not
still good. So,
for now. There's always hope.
but um, but like, who knows? We don't know what the future of
well,
these characters are now. Like, there's no hint at it, so it's like,
there kind of was.
what?
That guy's not dead, so maybe they're gonna hang out with him. I don't know. Like it's so dumb. It's so stupid.
Well, we'll talk about that at the end,
But overall,
but
you thought it was just a fun episode too?
it was enjoyable. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I would say like as a finale for a show, it was pretty good, but
Yeah.
the episode itself within the larger work of the bigger story going on in the all the shows that are planned, like it just I don't know. It
Yeah,
took away from the show itself, but it was still a good ending.
like the end of season 2 of Mando, like that hidden scene at the end was amazing. When Boba went in there and killed, like it was such a cool scene, right? And then you
Yep.
got this ending, and it was like, so, like, what? Is he gonna get his own show? Because if that's the case,
All right, we'll talk
I
about
don't
that later. But
care.
let's just jump in to now we can do CMA scene because we got a lot. We got
Yeah.
8 voicemails tonight.
Ooh,
So
juicy! Y'all
we
coming
got
out because y'all want to complain? No, y'all want to tell us your
we
thoughts.
got we got a lot. So we gotta go quick, and we're already 22 minutes in. So um, let's start. So they are. It starts out. They are in the sanctuary or the katina, whatever you want to call it. Um,
The bomb place.
place that was bombed, the sanctuary, and it was burnt to a crisp because last episode it was blown up by the Pikes. Um, and so Boba and Fennec are there talking, and then Mando shows up, and they're like, "Oh, that was quick." It's like, "Yeah, I think I was able to recruit
He
his
was pretty
town."
confident.
He was confident, but like people were like, okay." But like Boba's clear that like if we don't have his help from that town, then like we're screwed. We don't have the manpower
Yeah.
to take on the entire Pike Syndicate. So he was worried about that, and he's like, okay, we need to leave and just wait at the palace. But then the mods were like, no, like we're staying because these are our people. And that was like a point for Boba, I think, where he's like, yeah, these are my people too. Like I'm in charge here. I can't leave them to fend for themselves. Like I'm at the front of the line for my people. So he's like, all right, we'll stay. All right, okay, whatever. That's the thing. So they're just waiting for reinforcements from Mos Pelgo. Um, so then it cuts to Cad Bane entering the little remote side thing outside of Mos Eisley,
Mm-hmm.
where we were before when the Pikes were when Boba went to go talk with the Pikes, and
Mm-hmm.
so he goes there and says, "All right, it's done. Cobb Vanth is not a problem. They're going to be staying in line." Um,
We also
and so
didn't. I just realized this. We never really got how Boba learned that what's his name had that Cobb Vanth had his armor.
you're right,
We also didn't figure out the timeline like at all either.
right,
Like how long was he with the Tuscans?
right. We'll never know. It's kind of sad, but whatever. So the the mayor is there, Mak Shaiz, and so he's
Say
there
that
to talk.
again.
Mak Shaiz.
Ooh, give me chills.
Okay, calm down over there. And then so I don't know. I kind of because the whole show we've kind of thought that okay, the mayor is like a super bad guy. Here it was more kind of like he's he was a good mayor who made a bad decision.
Yeah.
And now he's like, oh crap, because he's like I never agreed to like an explosion or bombing. Like we can't do that anymore. Like so like he was already like
he became a mayor who got greedy and wanted money, but then it still didn't want to kill everyone.
Right, and he kind of seemed a little like regretful because he's like, okay, we're no longer doing killing. We're not gonna do any more explosions. But then we learned an interesting point, which we kind of theorized, but weren't really clear on. But we learned that the Pikes were the ones who killed the village of Tusken Raiders that Boba was with, and they said that they made it look like it was the biker gang. So we learned that, and they're like, for in Boba's eyes, things are even. That's done with. He has no reason to suspect us because he went and killed the biker gang. I'm like, okay, and so that was Cad Bane got the information. And I was like, okay, what is Cad Bane going to do with this information, if anything? So,
it almost worked.
It almost worked. And so after this, we go back to the mechanic chick, Pelly. Is that her name? Pelly. I think it's Pelly. They're there, and an X-wing is coming in. Which at first I was like, okay, we saw X-wings on Tatooine when
they're flying.
When Din got
got pulled over.
Yeah, pulled over in space.
Well, that's what she thought it was too.
Right, and so, but then I was thinking, cool, because technically, right when you see it, if you pay attention, you can see R2D2.
Yeah,
which I didn't see right away.
I caught it right away. I was like, "Oh, it's Luke!" And then when I didn't see that anyone came out like right away as she put the ladder up, I was so mad. I instantly knew.
Yeah, so
he wasn't there.
When the top opened up, and because you can see a pilot sitting in there.
Yeah, you would be able to see it.
Right so like here. When I couldn't see anyone, I was like, okay, so Grogu's probably in there. So then I was already kind of like, dang it, that they're doing this. Yeah. And so while
especially for you, because you don't even want Grogu in the show anymore.
Yeah, I'm done with him. Like, I wouldn't mind.
The world's
never
not.
Again, but
the world's
whatever.
not.
But R2D2 is one who flies the ship in, lands, and it's funny because she thinks it's the New Republic. She knows she has illegal stuff.
Yeah, so she's whatever. Like saying like, "Oh, I just updated my passport or whatever."
Yeah, well, there's one scene too, or part like when she's like, cover that up, and so one of those pit droids is trying to cover up a stack of something with a tarp, but like the tarp falls off, and like
what is
you can watch it? It's in the background. You can watch it, and the pit droid is just like, crap, like I can't cover this in time, type of thing. It was just kind of funny in the background, but yeah. So Grogu comes out, eats some worms. R2 is sassy as always because he doesn't got time for this. Okay, we're doing this, and I'm like, oh crap, this baby's gonna get in the way somehow. But whatever.
Then also it was like she showed off his armor, so you like knew that.
Yeah, what's this under your shirt? Oh, yeah. Okay, like so, like okay,
duh,
he was
like, we there know that. Anyways. Oh yeah, I just watched that part. The droid even put his hands behind his back and like leaned on it, like nothing to see here. Like la 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 la. That was pretty funny.
But so then after this scene, it goes back to Fennec and them in the sanctuary. Now this is what I really did. This is my least favorite part of the whole episode. Maybe is they broke my rule of storytelling.
They
because
explained everything.
she explained everyone what they already knew. Like obviously Boba and Mando were there. They already know what was going on, but she's just repeating it out loud what the plan is about where the mods went, where Chrysanthemum went, and where the Gamorrean guards went. And it's like you didn't have to tell us that. Like you could have just
Showed us.
said like, okay, they all could
Well,
have been
because
there and like, all right, mods, you go to the Aqualish district.
yeah.
Chrysanthemum, go to the
Or she could have just done it on the
whatever.
radio and like show that they're going there.
Yeah,
You know,
and then
like
like it would have they would have shown us what happened rather than telling us. So it's just I hate scenes like that where they tell us something rather than showing us, and it's just like you could have literally just shown it happen, and it would have taken the same amount of time.
yeah.
Like whatever, but fine. So they have people in each district watching on patrol, waiting for reinforcements from the Pikes. Okay, cool, whatever. It makes sense. And so then they say, you know, the Pikes will never get here without us knowing ahead of time. And then immediately the droid comes in. Bobo, you have a visitor that wants to speak to you. And they look at each other like, really? Like already they know how to get through. Um,
Yeah.
and it's Cad Bane waiting out there for Boba. And he walks out. And so it was a tense scene of them negotiating, if anything, and trying to figure out what's going on. They're all like about to fight each other. And he's like, just let the spice go through. And Cad says that, like, we'll just let us do our thing. But then Boba's like, the only thing I'll accept is the Pike's leader's head. And so then Cad's like, all right, we're going to do a shootout or what's it called? A standoff?
Duel.
What is it called? A
Duel.
duel. Duel, yeah.
Duel. Yogi.
So a duel. All right, this is gonna happen here. But immediately when it starts to happen, Fennec goes out there like, no, Boba, stop. Like, you don't have to do this.
Well, he mentioned. What did he mention? His dad or something, or like?
No, he mentioned that the Pikes are the one that killed.
Oh, that's what it was.
So Cad wants to put Boba in an emotional state where
Get him all riled up, so
riled up and making bad decisions and stuff. So he makes a misstep or whatever. So that was smart on Cad Bane's part.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then Fennec talks him down. Was like, no, do this on your terms. Do this when you're ready. Don't let him have all the control over you right now. And Boba listens and takes off his hand off the bottom of his gun and puts it on top.
Like this whole scene, like cinematically, was amazing. I thought it looked
the one
really
scene
good.
when like it looks up at
Oh yeah, and the
Cad's face with
sun
the
like
light,
covers the
and you see
like
like
the help,
dust
his
come
hat.
through or whatever. I thought
Dude,
that
it
was a
was
cool scene.
so cool. It felt like you were watching a western, like a really well developed western too. Like I don't know, the way his helmet or his hat was shining in the light, covering like half his face. I thought it was really good. And Cad Bane seemed sinister, and like everyone like last week was like, why is he so light blue? Like why isn't he as dark as like we see him in the Clone Wars? But like if you looked up, I watched this video about it pretty much breaking down his species and the alien species that he is, and in his age he's pretty much like 100 years old. Like he's really old. So like, cause his like species like really old is like 70, and that like he's over that. So it's like he's really old for his age, which makes sense why he's like light blue and that dark. And even Boba says later he's like he called him an old man and stuff like that because like he's an old man. He's really old. And you think like he interacted with Boba Fett when he was a child, and now Boba is like fully grown, you know. So it's like it makes sense. Like, and Boba's old as heck too. So
Wow, not old as heck. He's like
40s.
what, 45 or something
That's
like that.
I mean, but he was like 50. or 45 or something when he first interacted with them. You know, like so,
Right.
like 40 years ago.
Yeah. So, Cad Bane walks away after this. But then this is where crap hits the fan. Because obviously now Cad goes and probably radios in, like, there's no deal. We're still at conflict with Boba. And so you start getting the mods radio in, like, something's going on, something seems right, something's going on. And they start getting ambushed by the Oculish species. And they're like, oh, it's a trap. Like, it would be cool if there was like a
It's
Monclaw
a
Mario.
trap.
It's a trap. But, like, okay, this is not good. And then it goes to Chrysanthemum, and he's seeing, like, all these Trandoshans whip out their blades, and he has to go crazy. And then you see the two Gamorrean guards by
Dude,
themselves.
this part was so sad.
Well, we didn't see dead bodies.
That sure is Star Wars.
And maybe pigs fly. I don't know. So
they fly now?
They fly now.
Also, apparently you can just throw them in a back to tank and they come back to life anyway, so it doesn't matter.
There's that too.
They can mod pigs. One pig will have like one eye, and then the next season will just be like one with half a year.
No, mod some wings on them or something.
Ooh. Jetpack.
But yeah, so then the Gamorrean guards, you could see like the last train leave, and there's like the dog species. I forget what they're called. They're back there waiting for them. Which the thing is about the Gamorrean guards, they had all the time in the world to get better standing. Like, they could have like ran to the side and like
they watched them come towards them.
Yeah, I'm like, I would have just ran along the edge of the cliff and then ran up into them. Like,
what was kind of weird about that situation too, it's like, why didn't they just shoot the guards? They didn't have like major armor. They only had swords. Like, they didn't have guns. They could have just stayed a distance and shot them to death.
They got like giant fingers. Their fingers can't shoot a gun.
No, not the Gamorreans. I'm saying the Gamorreans could have got shot and not pushed off the cliff. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it just so happened that the 5 guys that went to go fight the Gamorrean guards also didn't have guns. That's weird.
The Trandoshans didn't have guns. They just had swords and blades and stuff.
Also was kind of weird.
Well, I think that was just their species. Is like they just do hand-to-hand combat.
I mean, he has a gun.
Bosk is one person. Okay, calm down.
Also, they missed the whole opportunity of having Bosk in the show. Like, what the heck? They had so many opportunities to have Bosk in the show, or any of those people. IG-88 could have been, or no, IG-11. Wait, no, 88. No, IG-88 could have been, like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yep. Because it's about Boba Fett. The show is only about Boba Fett. They can't bring in these random characters for no reason.
Boba Fett at all. It's like, hey, let's hang out on Tatooine a little bit. Oh yeah, don't forget about Grogu. That's what this show is.
But anyway, so obviously because beforehand, all the different crime syndicates, whatever you want to call them, I forget what they're called, they all agreed not to be part of the Pikes, but obviously they lied and they are in league with the Pikes. And so they're being all coordinated at the same time. So they're figuring, okay, they're all being directed from one central place, and the mayor's assistant is there, and they make them say, okay, they're based in Mos Eisley, and that
the mayor consistent dude. I want him to die so bad.
Here's the thing, I hated him at first, and then I was like, he's not that bad.
He was okay. So
he's like a comic relief now. Like,
throughout this episode, I hated him.
Really?
I was like, just kill him. And then when he got hooked up with that girl, then I was like, okay, they're a cute couple. We'll let him stay.
I don't know. I actually kind of enjoyed him this episode finally, where he was a comic relief, and it's like you start to get used to his his way of
I was
talking and
so
his
annoyed. I was like, just kill the dude.
I
But
don't know.
now you know he's gonna be like,
He's in love now, and
or he's gonna be like the Bivatuna Boba Fett. Like he's gonna like be Boba's like right hand to talk to everyone and stuff.
yeah, that'd be cool. I don't mind him now. I think he's kind of a nice comic relief side character to have. Um, but yes, so they figured that they have to stop communication to help, you know, make it harder for everyone to communicate. So he sends Fennec to go there to take
Yes.
out, and so
Also, Fennec gets on a real speeder, which I appreciate. I like that a lot. But
okay,
yeah, keep going.
and um, so she goes on her way, she goes by the where the mods are being pinned down, and she takes them out and saves them. And
Did you think that Black Santin died when he got dogpiled?
I thought it wasn't going to be good for him.
Yeah, I was.
um,
I was like, oh, that's sad if they killed him off like that.
but let's get to that part. I'm working my
No,
way.
you skipped that part. That was the
No,
next
that's
scene.
yeah,
Oh,
and I was finishing the mod scene, and then I'm gonna go there.
oh, well, you're jumping around a little bit. It
I'm
goes
not
this
jumping
scene.
around.
Yeah, it goes this scene, then the mod scene. I'm watching him right now. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, it goes. She jumps on the speeder, and then it goes back to Black because Santa again jumped. But, anyways,
Okay, anyways, so Fenix saves the day, and the mod chick that looks like Jyn Erso going through a punk phase,
damn.
and talks just like her too. Like it's the
Yeah,
same
you're
thing.
not wrong.
Um, and so she's like, "Thank you for your help," and then Fennec was like, "Huh, you mind your manners. I like that." So
Which I thought was a waste of time, but yeah.
no, I think it's going to be a point that they're going to be a good
Team.
team moving forward. That they're all on the same page, like they rely on each other. So I like that. Then yes, Chrysanthemum gets overpowered by the Trandoshans. I really like when you took out his electric knuckles and
And you start
punching
punch him in the face. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was enjoyable.
Um, and then the pigs die, unfortunately. But yes,
No, they didn't die. They fell. We don't know.
they
It's
fell.
Star
You're right.
Wars. If we don't see you land, you're still alive in Star Wars.
Yep.
They
Mace
just
Windu alive, confirmed. You heard it here
confirmed
first,
right
folks.
here. Prove me wrong.
But yes. So then the Pikes arrive at the sanctuary, and there's a good scene between Mando and Boba about like, what are we gonna do? And Mando's like, I gave you my word that I'd protect you, and this is the way I stay until we're both dead. And so Boba's like, because Mando's like, it's my creed, but I'm here to stay. He's like, you still believe in that nonsense? He's like, this is the way. All right, good. He's like happy.
Okay, good.
And so they decide. What did they decide? 'Cause they had the two options of.
Well, and then the guy's like, "Hey, I could be
No,
of
but
service."
what was their decision? They were gonna just. Cause they were like, we can run
Shoot
out
it
there
out.
and like surprise them and try and get away, or wait for them to come to us more. I forget what they were gonna do. Because
I think they're
then
just gonna
the
go shoot him
assistant
out
chimes in.
because he didn't want to. Boba didn't want to leave his city, so he wasn't gonna run away.
Okay, so they're just gonna hold it out in this
Yeah.
wait there. Okay, so then
Which I mean, he could have ran and got the slave one and came back and started shooting them or the Rancor.
could have.
Either way, he does run away, but we'll get to that.
So then, but then the mayor's assistant chimes in, and he's like, "Well, I specialized in civil negotiations or whatever it was.
Yeah, he went to school on, where did he go?
Coruscant.
Coruscant.
He's like, I actually went to school on Coruscant. Not that it mattered. I'm not saying I'm better, but I went to Coruscant, school in Coruscant.
Yeah.
Like, this
But
is
my
funny.
parents weren't rich, and we're like, look, dude, stop talking.
And he's like, I can negotiate on your behalf. And like Boba's, all right, let me get your tablet or whatever. Let me write down my words. And so
Oh,
then
shit.
he goes out there and it's like does his thing where he like, I'm here to negotiate, blah blah blah. Here's the words from Boba, the terms of surrender or whatever.
Or how much it's gonna cost, how much he's willing to pay for your surrender.
Yeah, and so
And then he starts reading it. And
I'm like, I would have read that way before I walked
bro,
out.
I would have read that as I was walking out.
But
and clearly he flies on his like edge of his seat all the time, apparently. Because I would have prepared before I started giving a speech. Duh, like at least read it. But
yep. So then he's reading it and he stops because like, oh crap. And Mando's like, I negotiate nothing. And then
he's like, what do you guys?
And then Boba and Mando are up with their jetpack shooting. Now, here's the thing. They had time to sneak out and like jetpack up, but like they could have just snuck out and like I don't know. I feel like they could have just snuck out and like as the guy was talking out there
and just ran away. Yeah, they could have, but the whole thing was they weren't going to.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like they could have been more like not in the building when the Pikes went in.
And true.
They could have ambushed the
Pikes
it
up or
more
blew
from
up
behind
the building with all of them in there as they like raided it. You know.
Yeah, like
there's definitely other ways they could have went about this whole situation.
They could have just flown on top of the sanctuary and just shot from the top, and they would have had way more protection.
I mean, it is Star Wars; you always have the high ground. So
yeah, so they did have the high ground, but
until they decide to land. And then it just breaks out though in the dopest scene ever. Though you have to admit the flying scene, the way they did it was so smooth. Like I thought it looked really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. And just seeing these two back to back shooting again, it was pretty cool. And then he kept doing the knee shot. He just fling his knee up and just blow him up. That was so cool. Flick of the knee.
Yep. And so then they're doing their best, but then eventually they're getting overpowered to the point where they're.
You know it's bad when Mando has to throw out his whistling birds and it's still not enough. That's how you know.
Yep. He has his unlimited ammo for those apparently, because when he first gets them, she's like, Armor's like, use them sparingly, and he uses them like every episode now. Like,
okay. Well,
apparently he has
nitpicking much, but okay.
It's just like the
it's
like the archer that has unlimited arrows in their thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but hopefully that's the last time we.
Oh no, he's gonna do Whistling Birds next season for sure, at least twice.
So they're being pinned down and they're about to die, but then the members of Freetown come in and on their giant transport speeder thing,
which was pretty cool.
And they take out everyone, blah blah blah, and then.
Well, they took out like one wave, yeah.
And then the mods come to join the fight. And then we hear a Wookiee roar, and then we see some bodies getting thrown, and then it's Black Chrysanthemum coming, and he's
struggling.
He needs some milk, I can tell you that right now. He like cuts all over his body. He was whatever, but the best scene was when he threw the guy in the air and then shot him
midair.
That was pretty cool. He had like a broken foot or something that he's just dragging.
Well, he got stabbed in like, or he got shot at the end. He was limping and then got shot in that foot at the end and almost went down. And then Boba went out and saved him. Which it shows you the loyalty that Boba has towards him too. Now,
I was really hoping that when Boba went to go carry him, Like he wasn't gonna be able to help him, and he was gonna like use his jetpack to like drag him. Like I thought that would have been
Oh, that would have been dope if he would have just like
cool to like.
put his backpack on him and just like dragged him along. Even that one scene, like there's a scene when Boba uses his jetpack to dodge out of the way. I thought that was
Yeah.
so cool. Like for visual for a fight scene, I think they did really well. Like it's dope.
Yeah. And so then eventually they're able to fight off the Pikes enough to where they're overpowered. But so they flee and then like, okay, we won, we scared them off, but then obviously it's not that easy. And so Mando uses his scanner, heat-sinking scanner, and sees giant droidicas coming by, and apparently
Pretty
those are a
much.
thing. So I was watching this other YouTube channel, and they're saying that these are actually they're concept designs that were supposed to be used in Episode 3, but were never used.
Oh,
And
of
they have
droidicas,
they're
essentially.
they're like a giant droidica, and their name is like Scorp, not something. It's almost like
Scorpica.
scorpion droids. It's like Scorpodrica or something like that. And so they're an actual thing. They're a concept art for Episode 3, and they're just stolen for this episode from like that. So
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I love when they do stuff like that. Like they bring in things that should have happened, and I mean
Yeah.
they're pretty intense. When those shields turned on, I was like, "Oh gosh, game over."
Yep. And so um, they're about to destroy all the people hiding behind the transport. And so Boba and Din are like, you guys make a run for it. We'll distract them. We'll hold them off the best we can. So they all run. And then you see Boba and Din trying to take on these.
Well, they fly up, which is super dope from
Yep.
when it blows up.
And so they're trying to fight. They can't get through the force field. Din tries to use a dark saber, can't get through it.
Boba
And they're just
shoots his missile, doesn't do anything.
yep. So they're struggling. And so they kind of Boba's like, we need more or Din's like, we need more help. Like we can't do this alone. And like Boba's like, well, I can get more help. And I was like, okay, like who else is there? Like I didn't realize what he was going for originally until it happened.
No.
But
Well, first off, when he said that, I was like, "Oh, Tuscans."
oh yeah, there was that too. Like
That's
we
what I like,
I thought we were gonna see Tuscans in this episode. We never
or at
did.
least like I also thought like because we didn't see the Tuscan girl die.
Right.
A lot of people were thinking, including myself, that she was still alive, and we
Yep.
would have got her. But apparently, we didn't. So she most likely is dead. Because if we didn't get her now, we're not gonna get her later. It wouldn't make any sense.
Probably not.
So,
Yeah, what
like,
if she was in the back to tank? That would have been so much better.
that's what I thought, dude. There's so many people that could have been in there, that should have been in there. That isn't.
She's been
That's a
dead in the
zero.
desert for 5 years, and they put her in the back
They just
tank as a
found her.
skeleton, and it comes back.
Hey man,
um,
apparently that tank does miracles. Either way, I was just like, yeah, that, and then I was like, oh, maybe it could be the Rancor. And then people in the chat's like, oh, what if it's a Slave One? I'm like, oh, that would make sense. Like, it's a ship that has giant bombs, but I guess the bombs would destroy the city, so maybe shouldn't do
right.
that. But no,
But yes. So, um,
I love that uh Black Chrysanthemum tries to stick his hand through there, and he almost gets through. Which one shows me that he is so strong that he was able to try to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I thought that because with the droidicas, the small ones, you could just slowly walk through it or put
That's
your
what I
hand through it.
thought. I was like, can't you just walk
But
through them? But then
I guess these shields are much stronger than those little
they're like triple
droidicas.
layered or something.
So
Will I am in the chat was like, or Will I was in the chat said, well, the city was destroyed anyways.
yeah,
So
he's like, we
yeah,
can't. These two things are going to destroy the city. Then he comes in with the Rancor and destroys the city even worse.
yeah. So I
But
mean, in hindsight, it would have been the thing. And then, but this part's super funny though.
but so Boba he leaves, and then Din is on the run, and then Pelly arrives on the little like droid cart thing. Like, hey Mando, I finally found you. You won't believe what happened. And he's like, run, get out of here. And then
It was pretty funny.
I'm like, oh no, she has Grogu, doesn't she? This is terrible. This kid should not be here right now. This is stupid. Gosh dang it. This dead weight kid, come on, get out of here. Like,
Hey, he
whatever.
holds his own. He saves every single show.
And it's like, fine, whatever. So then they're running away on this cart thing. And hey, Mando, look who I got. And it's the baby Yoda.
Hey, that scene was pretty intense.
Hey, bud, how's it going? Oh, I missed you. And then the kid jumps up and hugs him. Like, well, whatever. This is
okay. I got kind of emotional.
I know you're dad now, so this stuff is so much different for you. But I'm not a dad, so I don't care about this guy at all. Like,
I don't know. I was like, oh, this is cool, but also it's like it means so much, but we never really got the meaning because of the way they showed it. In a sense, like I don't know. I kind of wish you would have tried to have like a conversation, like, oh, why are you here? Like, why aren't you with the Jedi? Like, there was no conversation at all, or not even like R2 should have had like something like a transmit, like
hologram.
a hologram, like, hey, he decided to pick you instead of learning how to be a Jedi. Take care of him, and he'll take care of you as best as he can. Like something like
Right.
we needed something. I don't know. So
Right.
also, so yeah, they run off and
Yeah.
and then,
So they run off, but then we also see that the mods are with the citizens from Freetown, and they're hiding behind a wall because they can't go any further because then they'll get even pinned even more. So they're trying to fight the best they can. So they're pinned down by Pikes and one of the giant droidicas, which I feel like all the shots that are being shot at that little wall like should have been destroyed like in 2 seconds, and they all should have died.
100%.
But
Also, the entire time I was thinking, why does this girl has this little tiny pistol? Like, what the heck is that gonna
yeah,
do?
that little pistol is kind of
Like,
because they all the mods had those little pistols. Like,
you know what it reminded me of?
what?
What's that show? Men in Black.
Oh, the
When
little
Will
gun,
Smith had the little tiny
cricket,
gun, the
the
cricket.
cricket.
That's literally what it looked like to me. I'm like, oh,
But I'll tell you this: it's not as strong as that cricket, though.
no, it is not.
But yes, so this is happening, and then the cart with Mando and Pelly and Grogu, it crashes. It flips over. Mando jetpack saves Grogu flying through the air, catches them. They land. They're pinned down by the giant droideka there, and Mando's trying to fight it the best he can, but he can't. And then we hear a roar.
Why does it make me feel like Grogu did that to the droid's neck?
No, he just saw it. It was like reaching out, like, oh no. I noticed that too.
That's what I'm looking at. But then, like, you're watching it, right? And this is happening. Like, I'm watching it right now, right? It's happening. And then you look at the droid. I'm watching him, and the droid seems fine. And then Grogu puts his hand out, and then all of a sudden it's on fire. Like,
he was just sensing that it was about to catch on fire, and he's like, "Oh crap!" And then
it almost. I know, like, you're probably
if they were implying that he did that, they would have shown that.
I feel like it almost looked like they did, like almost in the sense of like he knew that being on that thing was not gonna save them. Essentially,
I think you're reading too much into it.
Probably. And then she loses a tooth. We can't forget that.
Oh yeah, she spits out a tooth. Which, like, why would you waste that? Who cares? Like,
I thought it's funny. Her character is so raunchy at this point. Like, it's her character is so funny. Like, I felt like I didn't really like it as much, but now, like, the more we get her, like, she like literally was in love with Wookiee, like, or Ewoks. Like, she dated one. She knows that they're
Jawa.
Jawas. I mean, she knows that they're hairy. Like, I don't know. Her character is just so like grungy, but it's like such a funny character. Yeah.
So we hear a roar, and then that's when it clicked that he was going to go get the Rancor. And the Rancor climbs over the wall, and he's this Rancor fighting a giant droideka, which was all right. This is cool. And
Yeah,
then
I thought like the animation stuff looked really good. Like
yeah,
it
I thought
looks really good.
the Rancor was very well done. Like it looked very natural in the
Yeah, it looked better than
scenes.
episode 6.
Right. And so that's going on, and so they're fighting. The Rancor gets shot in the chest really bad, and that's
I thought it
when
died like 4 times, dude.
right. And so, but while they're fighting, Mando goes out there because the shield is half weakened, so the shield is pushed forward to the front, and then it's kind of basically nothing in the back. So Mando's able to walk in with the Darksaber, and so it seems like he had more control over the Darksaber than he had before. Like it was more fluid in his
100%.
hands. And so I think what happened here and why he was able to use it easily was because he was using it to save others.
And save Grogu.
And so he was because it wasn't for himself, it was for others. He was connecting with it, and it's like he wasn't battling himself anymore. He was doing a moral good, and so then the saber, whatever, was able to sense that his connection with like the need of this for what it can do, and it was later. So then he was able to cut some stuff and stab it in the head, and then he gets knocked down, and then little Grogu starts walking out. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah. With his little, it literally looked like Conor McGregor walking out to the ring.
No, it did not look like Conor McGregor at all.
He was like a thug, just like
no, it was
waddling.
It was like if you took like a scissors and walking with the scissors, where you just kind of like pivot it back and forth.
Have you seen Conor's gorilla dance?
I know
that's what
it
looked like.
No, it was nothing like that janky.
Come on, chat, help me out. No. I thought it was funny. Janky, no.
He broke his leg like that time. And he like 12 seconds into a fight, he broke his leg.
Okay, don't.
His career's done.
My boy. No, what?
But
okay, I don't want to get to this.
So Grogu, he goes out there and I'm like, okay, all right, this is it. This is the Mudhorn scene all over again. From season 1, episode 2, the Mudhorn scene.
Oh yeah, kind of, yeah.
So he goes out there and he lifts it up, pulls out a bolt from the knee and drops him in it. He catches it, and then it tips over a little bit. But then the Rancor, which I don't know where the Rancor was for the past minute, but it got back up, started beating up the droideka, ripped it in parts, and it was killed.
It made you think it was going to be the Rancor scene, but it was actually the scene of when he takes the ball off the thing. Because he just took the bolt out the leg.
Yeah. And so, all right, we got one droideka down, one to go. So it goes back to the mods and the Freetown members. They're pinned down, and the mod chick is like, all right, we got to get to the roof. We can pin up. We can kind of flank them, shoot from the roof. So they switch weapons a little bit, go up there.
My question is, why did Boba grab... Okay, wait. I'm looking at Boba. Like, why did he grab his bantha stick?
Why did he grab it?
Yeah.
Because he knew he was going to need it, and it was needed for his scene with Cad Bane.
That's true. He also grabbed a new rocket. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, he reloaded his rocket launcher?
He
I didn't notice that.
Loaded her up.
So yes, so while the mods and the one chick are on the mod chick and the Freetown chick are on the roof sniping, this is when Boba comes in with the Rancor again, and it's a big epic fight. It's like an actual fight this time, where they're fighting. He throws them in the building, and they start fighting. Blah blah blah, and then eventually the Rancor wins. Like whatever, and so
It literally just reminded me of like King Kong versus like Godzilla,
right,
or like
monster fight.
a
That's what it
monster
was.
fight. That's pretty much what it was. It
And
was
so
well
then,
done, but
yeah.
it just
So then, after the Rancor defeats the Droideka, um, he starts they start killing more Pikes, and then while this is happening, Cad Bane walks in, and apparently Rancors don't like fire. I didn't know that.
yeah.
So that's a fun
Were you
fact.
happy that he? I was the whole time like eat someone, and then he did, and I was like, that is so dope.
Well, he tried to eat Mando earlier. I forgot to mention that, but he couldn't.
Oh, that's later.
Bite him.
That's later.
Huh?
He tried to eat Mando later.
No, that's before this.
No, it's after when Boba's not with the Rancor. When Mando's trying to calm the Rancor down.
Yeah, I forgot about the crazy scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. So
And he
that's right, because
stomps one into the ground.
it's in my notes. I didn't keep reading in my notes.
Jumping ahead.
So Cad Bane comes in, scares off the Rancor with flamethrower, and
makes Boba fall off of it.
And so yeah, Boba falls off, and so then they have another standoff, and he's like, "I'm faster than you, Boba." He's like, "I'm sure you are. I know you are, or whatever." And so they go to shoot each other, and Cad Bane gets a shot first, knocks him down, shoots him again, knocks him down again, pins him down. And this is my last lesson. Blah blah blah. And then so this is like during this is like I noticed the gaffy stick was there the whole time. So I'm like,
yeah,
obviously this is gonna come into play. And so he
I'm
turns
just kind
over,
of
grabs
sad that
it.
he didn't mention the dent.
Well, you mentioned that we have had a long history, Boba.
Yeah,
And
like
so
this is
it's
the first time.
implying all this stuff. So
Yeah, it's true.
so
I
then
just thought it would have been cool if you like I gave you the dent before, I'll give you another one or something like that. You know, like
right. And so uh, Boba is able to turn over, grab his gaffy stick, trip up Cad Bane, knock out his pistol, knock away his arm with the flamethrower, and then he stabs him in the chest. And R.I.P. Cad Bane.
Were you sad this death?
I was only sad because I wanted to see more Cad Bane in live action. Now, here's the thing. We have all the time between episodes 3 and now where they could bring him back live action.
Like, I mean, we could literally get him in
we could
Kenobi
get him in
show.
The Kenobi show. We could get him in Cassian Andor show. Which, that's also other news. It already got renewed for second season.
Yeah, what the I don't want to talk about that.
Why?
Because I want to see a show or a trailer before I get a renew of a second season. First of all, that was something I'm like, that cool, but we haven't even seen it yet. Like, why? We know that we don't even know if we're getting a season 2 of Boba.
We're not getting a second season. I don't think.
Probably not. But the thing is, like, we're watching this show and like, oh, by the way, we're announcing that we have season 2 of this show. I'm like, dude, we haven't even seen this show. Like, what if it's crap? What if no one even wants it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's going to be. I'm just like, let's focus on the here and now and stop trying to jump way ahead before we even get a trailer for a show first. And we haven't even got a trailer. There's like, that show was supposed to come out like 3 years ago or 2 years ago now. Like,
no, it wasn't.
Dude, it's
we thought
got
it was
delayed.
Supposed
like,
to come out this summer. Was what was the original thing. But we know it's this year, so it's probably going to be this fall. And you got to keep in mind that it's a 12 episode season 1. So we'll be covering that for 3 months.
Buckle
up. So that's 3 months of content for us that we don't have to plan for.
Yeah,
But
I think we're gonna get him and more stuff. I hope. I really love the character.
yeah,
Like,
and I'm sure when Bad Batch season 2 comes, we could see him again in there. Which that's not live action, but Cad Bane in any media is going to be great.
true.
But I think we'll see him again in live action. But
yeah.
But something that I kind of didn't mention earlier. But when Grogu comes out to fight the Droideka, did you think he was going to pull out a lightsaber?
No.
No. Oh. A lot of people
You?
were thinking that he chose both, and just chose
Well,
to leave.
I wanted him to, but that wouldn't make any sense. I think it would have been made sense if he chose both and Luke would have been there. Like, I don't know. I think Luke didn't come because it would have been too BA. Like, Luke would have just demolished and wouldn't even been as. It would have took way more from Boba than it already has. Which, okay, I get that. But, like, no, I didn't think. Because Luke's not going to let him take the lightsaber and leave. Like, that doesn't make
Well,
any sense.
maybe Grogu's just that powerful. He was able to beat Luke, knocked him
Yep.
down, knocked him out, and then left. Told R2, yeah, Luke said bring me to Tatooine, and R2's like, okay. But I don't know.
So when you first saw it, you thought he was going to?
I didn't know. Like,
I didn't even think about it.
I was like, what is this little baby gonna do? Like, and the thing that's stupid is like, he had the chainmail shirt on, but it never came into play.
It was
Like,
literally just to show us that he.
I know, but it's just like he could have got shot once. Like, we should have saw him get shot in the chest, and then Mando goes like thinking that Grogu's dead.
Ooh, true.
And he rips open the thing, and he's still alive. Like, oh, yeah, there's the thing.
But
like,
you know what that would have been? Literally, you know what that would have been from?
What?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
Because there's a moment where Frodo literally has a thing that looks like that. It's called mithril. It's made out of dragon scales or whatever, and it looks like that. And they all thought he died because he got stabbed by a troll. And then they open it up, and what, you have mithril, and it's like the most expensive thing in all of Middle Earth. So it would have been like literally copy that. And earlier this whole season,
but that's also like every show has someone shot in the chest that gets blocked by something.
But they also already copied the whole point. Like, they have a Rancor. Like,
but yes, Cad Bane is dead. R.I.P. But if he had to go, I guess that's the way. Because he's like, you're already an old guy, so it's not like he had much life in him anymore.
Yeah, but, and they mention that, and he looks frail. But then they pan over his body, and I don't know, he could be alive.
He's dead.
Hey, last time we saw someone die in the desert, they got a whole brand new stomach.
That is true.
Know. There, you never know. And half his body's already like a skeleton, anyways. Like, are modded, anyways. So you ever need? I don't know.
You're right. The mods could have picked him up.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
But now he's dead. R.I.P. He's done.
It's Star Wars. They're only dead when we don't see them again.
Yep. So then it goes back to the Rancor going crazy. He's on the loose. No one to control him.
He's just on the loose. I don't think he's going crazy. He's just trying to eat things.
He's on the loose. He's not tied down. He's breaking everything.
True. But I don't think he's like trying to hurt people. He has Luke's speeder, and he's eating Luke's speeder. Literally the same design. They should have just kept it the same color, and we could have just said it was Luke's. It would have been cool.
Right. So then he's like, here, hold the baby. I'll take care of this. Flies up there. Tries to ride him. Doesn't work. Gets smashed down. Rancor tries to eat him. Can't eat him because the best car. Whatever.
That was a cool scene. Or her humor towards it was hilarious. But she's like, "Oh, your daddy got it," or what did she say?
Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon or whatever.
Let's see what the line that she said.
Mando gets thrown. He lands on the ground. He's janky. and Grogu.
He's shaky.
He
gets pounded through a building.
Yep. So then Grogu, he goes out there and he pulls an Ezra and connects with an animal and
puts it asleep.
Puts it to sleep. Like, okay, and then he goes and pets him, and then he lays next to him and takes his nap. Like,
snuggles up next to him.
Yep. Because normally when Grogu used the Force, like strong like that, he'd instantly pass out. But this time he had a little bit more energy and was able to walk a little bit, and then he fell out.
Yeah, I mean,
so he's getting stronger in the Force.
Yes, way stronger. He jumped. He's walking better. He kind of looks taller. I don't know.
Well, his face, the coloring on his face was different. He had like pink in his face or something this episode.
Aged, like he looks.
So maybe he's just getting sunburned because he's not used to being in.
I mean, that's fair.
But he does look a little different. So I don't know if that's just because he's connecting with the Force more that his body is being affected by it. I don't know, but whatever. Then after this, it goes to Fenix, or it goes to the headquarters, the HQ of the Pikes. They're talking, and the syndicate leaders are there, and they're like talking about it, and like the Pikes are like, "Well, we gotta leave now. Like, we're screwed." And it's like, "No, you can't do this. Like, we need you. We had a deal. Blah blah blah." And we were promised a safe, prosperous area. That's not happening, so we're out. And then Fennec shoots everyone, hangs the mayor, and then somehow sneaks in and stabs the Pike leader. Like, why didn't she just shoot him? Like,
she wanted to make it intense,
made it more personal. I guess stabbing someone is way more personal than shooting.
Oh them. Yeah, intentional. And do you know that Pikes bleed green? If you
I did notice that the blade was green. So
there you go, folks.
Heard it here first.
And then you get the view of the city.
Yep. So they're rebuilding. Everyone's happy. They're rebuilding. Everyone's bowing and waving, and the kids bring some Melu runs, which is great because that's everyone's favorite fruit because it's Hera's favorite fruit, Melu runs. And
does it give you the runs?
I have no idea.
Probably if you're allergic.
Yep, if you're allergic, yep. Then
you know what doesn't give you the runs?
I hear it does.
Well, it depends on how much you drink. It's the worst segue of all time right there.
So if you need to clear your system, Drew,
what can yourself?
When you do a cleanse, what can people do?
Well, you could go purchase some coffee from our sponsor of this episode.
Yes. And what is our sponsor?
Wesley Andrews, and we are willing to tell you more.
Hit it. So here's a sponsor.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Yep. So he has the Melu run, tosses it. He's talking to Fennec, and he's like, I don't know if I like doing this, but then like, who else is gonna do it? Blah blah blah. And she's like, well, you should be in your back tank. And he's like, well, someone's in it right now, which we were thinking, okay, it's Chrysanthemum because he said that earlier in the episode, like, you deserve a spot in my back tank when we're done with this. So we think that Chrysanthemum's in it, but then Chrysanthemum's right there,
Yes.
And he still has his cuts and stuff on him. Like you can still see his big one on his leg bleeding still.
Limping.
And he tosses him the Melu run, and Chrysanthemum starts eating it. And then like one of the mods is like, "What, you don't want to share with us?" And Chrysanthemum just growls at him or whatever. And then
it pans up,
and oh gosh, annoying kid tapping on the window with the oh gosh, I'm so over Grogu. I'm sorry,
dude. You can't be. You gotta buckle in, bro. We're getting him. We knew we were gonna get him as soon as she modded the ship for his head. We knew we were gonna get it.
But he's just annoying now. He's just like tapping the thing with the ball, and it's just.
You've been in denial this entire time.
I'm over it. And then all he wants is Mando to do the
go fast
sub light speed thing button. He's like, "Fine, this is the last time. Shoot off," and then that's the end of the episode.
Which literally has nothing to do with Boba Fett.
Whatever.
That's why I'm like, okay.
So then all right, this is when I was the most excited. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get an amazing mid or post credit scene. It's gonna be a name drop. We're gonna get a planet. We're gonna get some story, and it goes to the back to tank, and you see someone in there, like standing in the background. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then it's Cobb Vanth in the back to tank, and then the mod, like mechanic surgeon guy, turns around, lights his torch, and that's it.
So dumb.
So Cobb Vanth is gonna be alive. He's still a character. Okay, whatever.
Did anyone thought he was gonna die from last week? Like
no.
Like
I don't understand why they had to do it like this. Like he could have just like joined in with everyone with like a taped up arm.
That's why
the whole time, and it would have done the same thing.
For me, it's like I don't know if we're gonna get Boba's show again. Like I don't know, but I do know that in Mando season 3, they're gonna go to Tatooine. We're gonna see them all on Tatooine, again. And we're gonna see Cobb Vanth there. Like, and if they're trying to build this up for him to get his own show because he's a good actor, bro, I don't know about that because his character is not that cool. Like, I don't care for him.
I like him. I think he's a cool character. I like him a lot. Like, I wouldn't mind him being a regular character. Like,
did you want him to have his own show, the Cobb Vanth of the West?
No, but I heard someone say today that maybe because, what's her face, Cara Dune, that show's not going to happen because the Rangers show was supposed to happen. Because that got canceled, it could be replaced with Cobb Vanth doing that.
Well, someone's saying that he could be like Boba's right hand now.
Well,
because what's her name, Cara Dune's no longer going to be in the show. Like maybe he goes back to Tatooine and get Cobb Vanth and like, but either way, whatever they do with him, it does not deserve a post-credit scene.
Right.
And I think everyone in the history of Star Wars can agree with that. Like, I don't know what you're doing, Dave Filoni, but I don't want to post-credit. I thought it would have been cool if it would have been Cad Bane and he was trying to bring him back to like be on his team.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Hey man,
that would never happen. That would make no sense. I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna throw you in my back of tank.
Because he changed.
No,
he would have killed him, put him in his back of tank, bring him back. Hey, I saved you. Now you have a debt to me.
No, Cad Bane doesn't care about that crap.
I don't know. I thought it would have been cool. Also, whatever happened to the Cad Bane's like droid?
I don't know. It was on a ship. I don't know.
Because
Toto.
What if we get season 3 of Mando? We see Cad Bane on the ground and then Toto dragging him into his ship.
That could have been the post-credit scene. Toto dragging Cad Bane.
Yeah, see, that would have been cool. Like, they could have done so much. And then
I got you, boss. I got you. Hold on.
Yeah, like, we could have got something, like, I don't know.
But I'm trying to remember, because because when they were in the Bad Batch, Toto was like abused by Cad Bane and was kind of like Cad Bane kind of abandoned him, like didn't treat him well. So like maybe he
he was
ran
like
away.
he probably got blown up or something, killed him. But Daddy Popson said that what's his name? Cad Bane gets a new right arm. Literally, he gets a new right arm.
I think he got shot in the left arm, didn't he?
No, this is right. Yeah, it was this one.
I'm pretty sure it was the left hand because every reaction channel that I was watching was like, "Oh, he's got shot in the left side. He got shot in the left side."
No, it was the left side if we're watching it. But if you're from his perspective,
no, he's
got right arm.
on the right side of the screen. He got shot, which is his left arm.
No, he got shot in the left side.
I'm willing to bet.
Pulling it up.
Pull it up. But whatever. So anyway, that's the end of the book of Boba Fett. Overall, I'm kind of disappointed. Like episodes 2, 5, and 6 were amazing. I'll always remember those episodes. I just think the story kind of lacked direction. A lot of story ideas that didn't get followed through, and like I don't know. I wish the Tusken Raiders had more role in it at the end.
True. Or just like.
And
yeah,
I think
right arm. Well, it's his right arm. I'm watching it right now. What do you mean? He's a right-handed. He pulls his gun. And he gets shot in the hand that he gets his arm shot.
I don't know.
Daddy Palps in this chat said, "Hurry up and agree, Jeremiah."
I don't know. I until I see with my own eyes, I'm
I'm
doubting Thomas until I can see it with my own eyes. But yeah, like I'm disappointed by the season. Like I didn't like that it had to rely on Mando. I didn't like that it didn't add to a bigger storyline for the Mandoverse.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it did for the Mando. For Mando, it added a lot of storyline.
But for the Mandoverse, all the shows.
Oh yeah, no.
It didn't really
for
add
the
much.
Overall thing, like it didn't. But for Mando season 3, added quite a bit, in the sense of like we know that Grogu's with him again.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Because
now what are they gonna do now? Like, I guess he has to go to Mandalore and redeem himself.
Because I'm thinking like this time next year is when we'll have Mando season 3. I
think we're gonna get it for Christmas. You don't think so?
No, because we're gonna we still have Bad Batch and Andor this year.
Well, doesn't Bad Batch come out before?
We don't know when Bad Batch comes out. It hasn't been announced. So like we said, Obi-Wan Kenobi, May 25th for 6 weeks. That brings you through the end of June. And so the last Wednesday in June is the finale of Obi-Wan series. And so then I'm assuming we're going to get the Bad Batch after that. And then Cassian Andor would be like the late fall during Christmas type thing. That's my guess. But like, I don't know. Bad Batch was, how many episodes was Bad Batch? Was that 12 episodes? Or 10 episodes or something? I think it was, something like that. And then we'll have Cassian Andor for 12 episodes. So it's like, we have a lot of stuff this year, but so next year is when we'll have Mando season 3, and then maybe late of next year we'll get Ahsoka series. So that's it.
Actually, from all the articles right now about Bad Batch, it's gonna come after Andor.
All right, so then maybe
It says
Andor will
Obi-Wan
come out
and
in.
Andor and the book or season 3 too.
Because I'm assuming because it's on Disney Plus, so we know that next month is going to be uh what's that Night Moon? That's called. No, what's
It's a Marvel show.
no the Oscar Isaac? What's the Night Moon? You didn't see that commercial, the trailer for that?
No.
What?
Oh, the Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Right, you saw that,
Isn't
right?
that a movie though? I don't. Is it
No,
a show?
that's a show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's coming
That's
out in March.
Okay.
So then after that they'll do Obi-Wan Kenobi. So then I think there's another Marvel show that will be during.
I just wish they weren't Wednesday releases. Like
I know
they used to be Friday releases,
yeah,
which were like nice. You had the weekend to like go and like look up reviews and all this stuff, and like then all the Marvel stuff was on Wednesday, and then they flopped them. So I don't.
well they didn't flop them. They just turned it all to Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So
It's just okay. So what's crazy to me, and I don't know how you feel about this, but what's crazy for me, and maybe it's because Marvel has a bigger team, but we've got so many Marvel shows, and we've had 3 Star Wars shows. We had like 3 Marvel shows back to back to back, and I'm like, what? Where's all these Star Wars shows? Like, and maybe it's because it's a smaller team and there's more criticism, and they don't want to mess it up, but. There's
you
so
also
many
gotta keep
Marvel
in mind,
shows.
but you gotta keep in mind that um, the Star Wars shows are filmed in the volume.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
they're confined at one thing at a time.
Yeah,
one show at a time.
And you act like Disney doesn't have enough money to make another volume.
Well, they have 2 of them, but I'm just saying like
They need like 5 of them.
Marvel can film multiple shows at the same time
right.
all over the world, and so they can do that. Where Star Wars, they're reliant on the volume, which
and I also think they don't want to mess it up, and I'm okay with it. But
well, apparently they have messed it up because this show is kind of
this show they kind of seem like they feel it's a filler.
And I would rather Star Wars take their time than to rush it. So
true, but I'm just saying, like I didn't even realize that we're getting a Green Air or a Hawkeye show, and then all of a sudden it's here, and then when it's already done, I'm like, I didn't know we were getting this. Like these shows are coming out of like left field. Meanwhile, we have to wait. Oh well.
He's got watch the news, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
I know all about the Marvel stuff. I know Moon Knight's coming out, and there's a couple other Marvel shows this year, and movies. There's all kinds of movies too. So
yeah.
But
meanwhile, we're just waiting for Kenobi. But hopefully we get a trailer this weekend.
This weekend.
I mean, it would be cool because like they gave us the release date, and then all of a sudden like, oh, here's a trailer go along with this release date. Like
what they should have done is just put the teaser at the end for the post credit scene of this episode. That's what they should have done.
But then people's timeline would have been so messed up.
Well, give it the show, folks.
People's timelines are already messed up as it is. Like, let's be real. Like, so many people are like, wait, so why is the Mando stuff is messing people up because no one knows exactly. Like, people are confused because last time they saw Mando, they're all on a ship, and then like
people are confused.
The casual fans I communicate to that keep asking me questions that don't listen to the podcast. Just listen, and you don't have to ask me questions because I go over all this. Yes, the people that don't listen that know me personally.
Well, since they don't listen to the show, you can tell them by name.
No.
All right. Well, did you have any other final thoughts of this episode?
No, I think overall, like, I'm not gonna say we're not gonna get a season 2 just because, like, why not? Like, for sure we're not. It's not the last time we're gonna see Boba Fett and them or Tatooine. Like, they're gonna be back on Tatooine at some point, and so I don't know if they're gonna get their own show, but we know that Mando for sure is gonna interact with them. So, and I just wish that this didn't become the Mandalorian season 2.5. Right. That's my only concern. Like my only thing, and I kind of wish Cad Bane didn't die, but I hope we get him again in live action. That's like my biggest thing because his character is so cool.
Yeah.
And he was so sinister. Like he looks so good, and I don't want that be our last time with him. So
All right. Well, we can transition to everyone's favorite part of the show, voicemail time.
It's voicemail time. That it is.
All right. Well, we have a bunch of
as
voicemails.
in what, 8, something like that. Something
8 of
crazy?
them.
Woo! Y'all
So-
showed. We were giving them crap last
All
week.
right, we got a lot, so we gotta go fast. We can't have time to chat. All right, first one from Night Wolf.
Ooh, new.
Hello there. This is Nightwolf from the Discord, and I have been listening to this podcast for about the past few weeks, and I don't know how many episodes I've gone into. I'm pretty sure I'm like 60 plus episodes just within
Dude,
less than a month.
Damn.
I have a lot of free time at work. So,
Okay.
but I do have a fairly, I think, a good question if it hasn't been asked before. If there were to be, out of anyone from the extended universe, to be brought into live action, who would you guys think it would be? Or what events it would be over? Love the show, guys. Keep up the good work.
Well,
That's a good question.
good
Also,
question.
Thank you.
But Drew and I don't know anything about the expanded universe much.
True.
Now,
can make up
Andrew,
stuff.
who was here, was our resident EU specialist,
True.
and he did some EU with Andrews, and so hopefully sometime in the future he'll surprise us with an EU with Andrew. But
True.
so we don't know a lot about the expanded universe. I think the idea of the Yuzong Vong, which we did a EU with Andrew once, is a cool story, and people are saying that from the Thrawn trilogies, the canon ones, that the Gris
Yeah.
are kind of supposed to be the Yuzong Vong potentially,
Yeah.
and so it might be that. So that might be fun. But other than that, like I don't really know.
Revan. That'd be dope. I would be down for that. Revan. I don't know. There's a lot of
Any Sith stuff would be cool. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
Old
even-
Republic stuff.
I mean, we know that Palpatine's master, like he says his name, but we never actually get to see him.
Yeah, Plague. Yeah,
If we got a
Plagueis
Plagueis
novel.
show or something, or if they like canonize the novel, that'd be dope. I would love Plagueis. I want to see Plagueis. I know he's kind of canon, but the book isn't like really. So like, if we got a Plagueis show, that would be crazy, dude. That'd be dope. So I'd be down for that.
All right, cool. All right. Next question or voicemail from Captain Katarn.
Ooh, Captain.
Hello there. Fairly new to the podcast, but it is very great from what I've heard so far. I have one question for you. What is your favorite bounty hunter? Thanks.
Cad Bane's pretty cool.
For real.
R.I.P. Imbo was pretty cool because he had the dog.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Good dog is always good.
I'm gonna stick with Boba.
Is he still? But now he's kind of soft. Kind of like Cad was saying. You got soft. You're going straight.
Yeah.
He's not a bounty hunter anymore. So
True, but he was my favorite.
all right.
Or Mando. Mando's pretty dope. Let's go with Mando too. And Mando's kind of still a bounty hunter. Actually, he still is technically, right?
Possibly.
I mean, he did a bounty, and then
Oh, he did. That's right. But now he's going back to Mandalore to go to the living waters and become a Mandalorian officially.
Apparently they're not that living right now either. But
well, Baby Grogu's going to do the healing power
of the planet.
He's just going to touch
He just
it.
touches the dirt and the whole place just lights up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, it'd be interesting.
All right. Well, thanks for the question, Captain Katarn.
Yes.
All right.
And welcome. Welcome to the community.
Yep.
I don't know if you're in the Discord, but you should get into it if you're not.
Yep. All right. Our next voicemail from everyone's favorite leader of the Gungans.
Oh.
Hello to this Empire Radio. Me Sabins across the galaxy doing me Gungan things. And me Sabin traveling. Me seeing a lot. And you in my radio on the road trip through the galaxy.
Thought you were gonna say the planet core.
I've been hearing some decent things about these Gungans making a religion about me. And me like this.
Bro.
Rusa should join.
What is going Ooh, that was a long one.
All right. So
that was it?
I think so. Thanks for listening to us on the road or on
your trip through the planet core.
All that stuff. And they're starting a religion overview about you. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think I'll partake, but it's cool.
All right. Next question from Brady.
Ooh.
Or I don't know if it's a question yet, but
that's true.
Voicemail.
Hello, everyone. It's Brady Zarnotopius in the Discord. How y'all doing? So I had a little bit of a wild fan theory. I want to hear what you think about it. I know it's a little bit out there, but it's a fun what if. And this will probably be outdated by the last episode of Boba Fett, but we can give it a shot. What do you think of the idea that this mysterious stranger that pops up really is a stranger? And he's actually a clone of Cad Bane. Because, the last job we see him do in canon before his reemergence is for the Kaminoans, establishing a relationship between him and the cloning race. And we know that the Imperial remnants are out there doing their thing with cloning because of Grogu, so it fit right into the narrative. And we have this bounty hunter taking on Cad Bane's legacy, who hates the Empire because he was mistreated by them as a clone. It's wild, it's out there, but I want to know what y'all think. Thank you, and have a great day.
Wait, what? So his theory is that Cad Bane's a clone?
Yeah. Sorry, Brady, you're wrong.
Yeah.
We find out that he knows Boba from when he was a child in this episode, so
yeah,
it was interesting.
It didn't age well.
It didn't age well.
That's
but
cool
know who did
thought.
age well? Cad Bane aged well.
Yes, he did.
We learned that he's super old, an old man. So,
but that was a really well thought out
theory.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
sorry,
it's not as realistic as Darth Jar Jar. So
true. There's still that.
There's still hope for that one.
There's still hope there. So far.
All right. Next one from an ISB agent.
Oh, we haven't got yelled at in a while.
Hello, Empire Radio. This is Colonel Valen Doss of the Imperial Security Bureau. And I have been hearing some things about you being rebel scum and consorting with the illegitimate New Republic, leaking the Remnant's secrets to your avid fans. Well, let me tell you right now that this nonsense stops here. I don't want to hear any more reports of you leaking Imperial secrets, and if I do, there will be consequences of the highest order. Don't you dare cross me, and don't cross the Empire. DOS out.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. ISB agent. But, we're the emperors of the Empire, so I don't know.
Also, I feel like our duty is to let the galaxy know that the Empire is still strong.
Yeah. So
that's
you don't
what
have to
we're
worry
doing.
about us leaking
We're not-
anything to Rebel scum. So
No. We
But-
just
but
let them pay our bills.
yep. Thank you for your concern. We're glad to see that you're doing your job.
I'm glad you want us to quit.
I hope you get a raise at your next review.
Most likely not. I don't think any of us really get paid. We're kind of all slaves, but
There's that
or
too.
volunteers that
Yep.
are stolen. But yeah, long live the
Alright.
Empire.
Long live the Empire. So, next voicemail from a Gungan.
Hello, Empire Radio. Misa be named Tula Rubles, and Misa big bossin with the Gungans. Misa old, and Misa kinda crazy. But Misa been wondering, can you hook me up with the big boss in Nas? Misa got a big following in Otagunga who wanting to meet him. Misa writing a Gungan blog about the Grand Gungan Empire that will soon to come. But Misa needing the Senate's approval first. Because we saw low on warriors in Otagunga. But the big boss in Nassen, Misa thinking that he's be the one to further our cause. Misa hoping that you hook me up, and Misa having a big bombad chat with boss in Nass. Thank you. Misa hoping that you have a good day. Thank you.
All right. Well, lucky for you, Boss Nass listens
True.
to the podcast. When he's en route in some hyperspace lane somewhere, he's listening. So he just heard your message, and so Boss Nass, have your people reach out. This guy's people work out something, get approval for the blog from the Senate. Good to go. I think he'll definitely join that religion that's worshiping you.
Sounds like he's already worshiping you. So
yeah. So you got one. You got one following you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, from Daddy Pelps.
Oh, he's in the chat too.
Hey guys, Daddy P here. I wanted to talk about last week's episode. Cad freaking Bane.
That's what I said.
Oh my gosh, and the Luke deepfake was so good.
True.
I was talking to Drew on the live chat, and I was freaking him out. I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, it gets so much better than this. I can't wait to see what we see next week. I haven't been this hyped as a Star Wars fan. Yeah, a long time. I know I'm not the only one, so hashtag give it to Dave. Hashtag not Daddy P's first voicemail.
True.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later, and hope you have a good one. See ya.
Thanks, Daddy Palps. Also, he wrote in the chat. My voicemail doesn't age well.
Yep.
Well, that's fair. But honestly, last week was crazy. And if you guys haven't watched my reaction to last week, you should go check that out on YouTube because it was pretty crazy. And yeah, it was fun. It was a fun episode. So if you want to watch my reactions to those things, you should go watch it on YouTube. It was fun.
All right. Well, next one from Will I Was.
Ooh.
Hey, Empire Radio. Will here. I know one of you wasn't expecting me. Jeremiah.
Dang.
Oh, sorry. Something caught in my throat. Anyways.
Must have been a Jeremy.
I don't really have a question this week, but more praise, if you will. Now, I have been listening to this podcast, well, the Empire Radio podcast, for quite a while, and I've caught up on the rest of your podcasts, which, in their own right, are amazing. But I do love that y'all call it how it is, basically, because it leaves options for more voicemails to be sent in with arguments and all of that, and it gives a differing opinion, which I thoroughly enjoy, so thank you.
All right. He was rushing at the very end to get the thank you in before his 1 minute was up. So
I was like, did it just cut out?
It didn't cut out. He just ran out of time, but he got it in. So, yes, thanks for listening, Will. You're great.
Yes, Will, you're here in the chat too right now. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Also, yeah, I'm glad that you like that we're just straightforward. We don't do a lot of speculation over here because every time we do, we're either wrong or really right, and so we just don't like to risk it.
All right. Well, we got our last one from Cody.
Oh, Cody.
Hey, Empire Radio. Cody here. Was just on my lunch break and decided to leave a voicemail through the Anchor app on my phone. Man, it was so easy. Anyways, I was wondering if you could have a piece of Beskar. What would you want it to be? I'd want a helmet because I think it'd be handy for my job and nice to have, nice to wear around. Thanks for the podcast. And don't forget, join the Discord. Do it.
Well, one, I like that you mentioned how convenient and easy it is to send a voicemail. So, for next week, don't forget. Also, you stole mine. I would definitely say the same thing. Beskar helmet would be just dope. I don't know if it would be practical for my. Do you know what? That would never mind. What if I had a Beskar grill and I could cook? You think it would be too hot or it'd take too long to warm up?
I have no idea. But it'd be kind of. Why would you want to? But why?
I'm just trying to think of like what would I use that material in my daily life. That's what I'm trying to think.
Well, you said armor.
Oh, he did say armor. Never mind then.
So it has to be
helmet then. Why not?
Helmet.
I was gonna say like maybe a knife, but then we learned last week that we don't use Beskar as weapons
unless it's whistling birds every single episode. But
hey, we don't know if that's it is Beskar.
Piece of armor, like I don't know, because I don't need armor for anything. So I feel like the helmet would just be too much of a burden. But then if I have to wear a mask going into somewhere, I could just have the helmet on. Has ventilation, all that stuff, so that might be practical.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could go swimming with it, right? No.
Possibly. He jumps in the water to save Grogu and gets eaten by that monster.
Yes.
Could do that. But if it wasn't armor, a knife set would probably be cool. Never get dull.
True.
All right. Well, thanks, Cody. Well, that's all the voicemails, all 8 of them that we had today. So
that's a lot.
Now, that doesn't mean that that's the last voicemail of all time. So next week, we should say now that we are done with the book of Boba Fett, we're going to be back to our Tuesday schedule. So we're recording Tuesday nights. So if you want a voicemail,
OG schedule.
Yep. So if you want a voicemail submitted for the next episode, it has to be in by Tuesday, 7
less
o'clock.
Day.
7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Central Time, because that's probably when I'll be getting home from work and rushing to get everything set up for the 8 o'clock thing. So, yep. So get those voicemails in, because now that we don't have episodes to break down, and it's just 2 of us, our episodes are going to be kind of short probably moving forward. So, send in voicemails, because they're always a great thing. Remember, they don't have to be Star Wars related. You could, like tonight, you could do some Star Wars impressions if you want.
True.
We
had a lot of impressions tonight.
Yeah. So
almost half of them.
Yeah. So that's great. So Always send in the voicemails. It's always the best. So now, how can they send in their voicemails, Drew?
Well, if you listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, whatever, there's always a link, and it goes right to the voicemail link on Anchor, and you can leave a voicemail literally on your phone at work, like Cody did. Or there's also, you could go to links with 2eyes.co, and you can find all
Yep.
slash Empire
Yep.
Radio, and you can find all of our social media from there. So like our IG, our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our Discord. All that's in that one spot. So go to links with 2eyes.co/Empire Radio for that. And we encourage you guys to go to our YouTube page too. There's extra videos that we post on there. And we also, with that too, we are, if you want to visually see the episode and you didn't catch it live on Twitch, you can go watch it over there too. The quality is really good. Jeremiah works really hard on making the video quality of our podcast over there. So if anything, just go over there, sub, and give a video a thumbs up to show that you cared about Jeremiah's work. If you still like it the way you listen to it, that's fine with us. I mean, we see you guys, so, and we thank you guys all. And like Jeremiah said, you have less than a week this week to send in a voicemail, so make sure you guys do that, because we do really appreciate interacting with you guys that way. But another way you can interact with us, Jeremiah, is
The Discord.
And
Yep, so that same link. There's a link to join the Discord. Join. It's always fun. A lot of crazy shenanigans and debates and conversations and fun. So
yes,
you don't want to miss out.
yes, yeah, it's fun. Discord is cool. I mosey on and see how crazy you guys are, and I get stressed. But a lot of people love it, and so we encourage you guys to go check out the Discord and join the community and interact with us over there. But like Jeremiah said, I'll say it again real quick. We are back on our Tuesday night episodes, so if you haven't been able to catch the live streams because it's not your normal time, we'll be back at it. So back in the saddle again. So you want to come over and watch us live, go to twitch.tv/Empire Radio to catch those live as well.
All right. Well, that's everything I have this week. Anything else, Drew?
No, it's kind of bittersweet that Boba's done. Kind of wish it would have ended differently, but overall, the whole show to me, including the Mandalorian episodes, it's like a 8 out of 10. Like, I'm excited this week to go and kind of binge it all again. So I'll probably watch it all at once, and I feel like I would have a better feel for the show. So.
All right, cool. Well, you've been listening to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.
The Needlessly Nerdy Podcast Network, your source for all things nerdy.
www.needlesslynerdy.com.